We have an important update now to a CBS News investigation into the Iranian drone attack on an American military post in Kuwait.
That attack killed 6 soldiers, including Master Sergeant Nicole Amor from White Bear Lake. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth said that the post was fortified and the drone swept through those defenses. But more soldiers are now coming forward to dispute that account.
Jonah Kaplan has been following this story for months. He joins us now from New York. Hi there, Jonah.
Hi, Amelia and Aaron. If you remember, this was the deadliest attack on U.S. troops in the war and the worst since 2021. It happened on the second day of the war, March 1st. Before, we learned from surviving soldiers about the lack of aerial fortifications. Now others are coming forward to describe what they call a failure when it came to emergency preparedness.
Master Sergeant Anne Marie Carrier was right next to Amor when the drone hit.
I instantly started screaming her name.
Soldiers commandeered vans and scrambled to find the nearest Kuwaiti hospital. Carrier says her best friend was still breathing as they set out for help. Shortly after arriving at the hospital, Amor died.
Was the Army prepared for a mass casualty event like this?
No, we didn't have any training for that.
The attack was the deadliest against U.S. troops since 2021. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said this the day after.
It happened to hit a tactical operations center that was fortified, but these are powerful weapons.
But Ramsbottom is one of 8 surviving soldiers who told CBS News something different.
We had no overhead protection. We had a tin roof. That was all we had.
Jonah, how has the Pentagon responded to all this?
Look, this was obviously something that we have talked about, and we put it to the Pentagon. And actually, we got a pretty lengthy statement yesterday. And the statement says that no plan is perfect, but the idea that there was any kind of gross negligence or that there was kind of an ignoring of the safety of the soldiers is unfair and inaccurate. And the Pentagon did say, though, that they did take measures to protect troops. But of course, what we're hearing from these soldiers is that it wasn't enough.
Jonah, why do you think the soldiers are talking on camera about this?
It's an important question. The second soldier we heard from was Major Stephen Ramsbottom, and he's a career soldier. He's been in for nearly 40 years, and he had 2 deployments beforehand, one in Iraq, one in Afghanistan. And after speaking with a lot of them, I think it has a lot to do with part of their grief for their colleagues who have lost, and to support the ones who are still injured. It's also part of their own recuperation. They find it cathartic and part of their own recovery. They also recognize that there are soldiers still in theater, right? The ceasefire could be, it could end any minute now, right? And so we could go back to combat. They want to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
And what about investigations, Jonah? Do we know about any into this incident?
Certainly. We know that the Pentagon has said there's going to be an investigation. And look, there's certainly going to be push from these soldiers, and we know of their families. I've spoken to not just these soldiers, but the families of these soldiers. They're not the only ones, the servicemen and women who are making sacrifices and giving their all. The families of those who are injured and killed, they give so much to this country. And so they're also asking for investigations. Tammy Baldwin today, the senator from Wisconsin, she actually questioned the Army Secretary, Dan Driscoll, about our report today on Capitol Hill. And we know that there are going to be more opportunities for government officials to testify and to answer questions from lawmakers.
All right. Thank you.
Jonah, live for us. We appreciate it. Thanks.